drowsy but awake. Better, warmer, thank you. I'm making pasta. Nothing fancy, but it's hot and filling. Ethan stirred something on the stove. My daughter, Lily, is at her grandmother's house tonight. She stays there once a week, so my mother-in-law can have time with her. Otherwise, she and Tyler could play. I remember Lily, Rebecca said. She has your eyes. And she's always kind to Tyler. Ethan smiled, and it transformed his face. She'd be thrilled to hear that. She talks about Tyler sometimes, says he shares his toys. He's a good kid. Rebecca stroked Tyler's hair. Even when life is hard, he stays sweet. Life has been hard? Ethan asked gently. Rebecca hesitated, then nodded. Tyler's father left before he was born. Said he wasn't ready for the responsibility, so it's just been the two of us since the beginning. I work 2 jobs, receptionist during the day, cleaning offices at night. My mom helps with childcare when she can, but she has her own health issues. She paused. It's a lot. But we manage. Or we did until today. Ethan listened without judgment, without the pity that usually made Rebecca defensive. He just nodded, stirred the pasta, and said, that takes incredible strength. Raising a child alone. Working multiple jobs. Not giving up. Sometimes it doesn't feel like strength. Sometimes it feels like barely holding on. That's what strength looks like, Ethan said. It's not about never struggling. It's about getting up every day and trying anyway. They ate dinner together at the kitchen table, pasta with marinara sauce, garlic bread, salad. Tyler ate with the hunger of a child who'd been through an ordeal. And Rebecca found herself eating too, surprised by her own appetite. This is delicious, she said. Thank you for all of this. You keep thanking me, Ethan observed. But you don't need to. This is what people should do for each other. Most people don't. I know. Ethan set down his fork. My wife died 4 years ago. Car accident. Sudden, senseless. Lily was only 2. In the aftermath, I learned who my real friends were. The people who showed up, who helped without being asked, who sat with me when I couldn't speak. And I learned that most people are uncomfortable with other people's pain. They stay away because they don't know what to do. I'm sorry, Rebecca said softly. About your wife. Thank you. Her name was Julia. She was... He smiled sadly. She was the kind of person who would have opened the door even faster than I did tonight. She believed in helping people, in community, in being the safety net when systems fail. She sounds wonderful. She was, and she taught me that we're all one bad day away from needing help, that circumstances can change in an instant, that judging people for struggling is cruel and pointless. He looked at Rebecca. So when you showed up at my door tonight, I didn't see a stranger asking for too much. I saw a mother protecting her child, doing whatever it took to keep him safe. That's not something to be ashamed of. That's something to be proud of. Rebecca felt tears slide down her cheeks again. I was so scared you'd turn me away. I wouldn't. I couldn't. Ethan's voice was firm. Whatever happens, whatever you need, you and Tyler are welcome here for as long as it takes to figure things out. After dinner, Rebecca helped clean up despite Ethan's protests. Tyler played quietly with some toys Ethan had brought out, toys that belonged to Lily but that he didn't mind sharing. They ended up sitting in the living room, Tyler eventually falling asleep on Rebecca's lap while she and Ethan talked. Really talked. The way people do when circumstances strip away the usual small talk and pretenses. Ethan told her about building his company from nothing, about the guilt he sometimes felt at his success when so many people struggled, about raising Lily alone, about the constant worry that he wasn't enough, that his daughter needed a mother and he couldn't give her that. Rebecca told him about her dreams of going back to school someday, of becoming a teacher, of giving Tyler a stable life, about the constant exhaustion of working 2 jobs, of the fear that one disaster, like a fire, could destroy, the fragile stability she'd built. What will you do? Ethan asked. About the apartment, I mean. I don't know. The Red Cross gave me vouchers for a hotel for a week. My renter's insurance might cover some of it. But I'll have to find a new place. And that takes time and money I don't really have. Ethan was quiet for a moment. What if I told you that you could stay here while you figure it out? Not just tonight, but as long as you need. Rebecca stared at him. I couldn't possibly. Why not? I have the space. The guest room is just sitting empty. Lily would love having Tyler around. She gets lonely being an only child. And honestly, he paused. This house has felt too quiet since Julia died. Too empty. Having you and Tyler here, it reminds me what a home is supposed to feel like. Ethan, that's incredibly generous, but we barely know each other. You can't just invite us to live here. Why not? People used to do things like this all the time. Take in neighbors in need, share what they had. Somewhere along the way, we forgot that we're supposed to take care of each other. He met her eyes. I'm not suggesting anything inappropriate. Just offering a safe place while you get back on your feet. Separate rooms, no expectations, just help when you need it. Rebecca didn't know what to say. Part of her wanted to refuse on principle, to maintain her pride and independence. But another part, the tired, scared, practical part, recognized this for what it was. A gift, freely given, from someone who understood struggle and chose compassion. Can I think about it? She asked. Of course. No pressure, but the offer stands. That night, Rebecca lay in the comfortable guest bed with Tyler curled against her side. And she thought about Ethan's offer, about what it would mean to accept. Not just the practical help, but the vulnerability of letting someone see her struggle, of letting someone in. She'd been alone for so long, fighting so hard to prove she could manage. Asking for help felt like failure, but maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was actually the bravest thing she could do, acknowledge that she couldn't do everything alone, that she needed support, that accepting help didn't make her weak. The next morning, she found Ethan in the kitchen making breakfast. Tyler was still sleeping upstairs. I'll stay, Rebecca said. If the offer is still open, just until I find a new apartment. A few weeks, maybe a month, and I'll pay rent. No rent, Ethan interrupted. But you can contribute in other ways if it makes you feel better. Help with groceries, with cooking, with watching Lily sometimes when I have late meetings. We'll figure it out together. Are you sure about this? Ethan smiled. I'm sure. Julia would have insisted on it. And honestly, I think this will be good for all of us. Lily needs more than just me. Tyler needs stability. You need a break from trying to carry the world on your shoulders. And I need to remember that my house is supposed to be a home, not just a place I sleep between work. Rebecca stayed. What she thought would be a few weeks turned into months as she worked on rebuilding her life. She found a new job with better hours and better pay. She saved money. She watched Lily when Ethan traveled for business, and he watched Tyler when Rebecca had evening shifts. The children became inseparable, more like siblings than friends. The house filled with laughter and energy that had been missing. And slowly, carefully, Rebecca and Ethan became something more than roommates or friends. They became partners, supporting each other, sharing the load, building a life together that neither had planned, but both needed. A year after that snowy night when Rebecca had knocked on his door, Ethan asked her to stay permanently. Not as a guest, but as family. I love you, he said simply. You've brought life back to this house, back to my heart. You've shown me that it's possible to build something new without forgetting what came before, and I'd like to build a future with you, if you'll have me. Rebecca said yes, because she'd learned something too, that accepting help wasn't weakness, that asking for what you need takes courage, that sometimes the bravest thing you can do is admit you can't do it alone. They were married that spring. Tyler and Lily were part of the ceremony, standing with their parents as two separate families became one complete whole. On their wedding day, Ethan told the story of how they'd met, of Rebecca knocking on his door, in desperation, of asking if she could stay just for one night. My answer then was yes, Ethan said. And my answer now is yes forever. Stay. Build a life here. Let me be the person who catches you when you fall, and you be the person who reminds me what really matters. That's what family does. That's what love is. And Rebecca, who'd once been so afraid to ask for help, who'd stood in the snow thinking she had no right to knock on that door, took his hand and smiled. Because sometimes the scariest thing we can do is ask for help. Sometimes admitting we need someone feels like the ultimate failure. But really, it's the beginning of everything. It's the moment we open ourselves to connection, to community, to the truth that we were never meant to carry our burdens alone. Thank you, Ethan, for answering the door, for seeing need and responding with compassion, for understanding that we're all one disaster away from requiring grace. Thank you, Rebecca, for being brave enough to knock, for putting your child's needs above your pride, for teaching us that strength sometimes looks like surrender. And thank you both for showing us that family isn't always about biology or long history. Sometimes it's about someone opening